What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Breaking news, the Steelers have signed up to 5 UDFAs following the Pittsburgh Steelers 2024 NFL Draft. They have signed Beanie Bishop, the much-mocked cornerback who had a visit out of West Virginia, played a few places. We're going to delve into him in just a moment. They signed Daijun Edwards, running back out of Georgia. They signed John Reese Plumlee, a quarterback out of Central Florida. Julius Westcott, linebacker out of Charlotte. Remember, that's where they drafted Alex Highsmith a little while ago, a couple of years back. And Jacoby Windmon, linebacker out of Michigan State. Georgia running back Daijun Edwards played in 51 games for the Bulldogs, carrying the ball 390 times for 2,083 yards. He also had 24 TDs, appeared in 12 games in 2023, starting 10. He led Georgia in rushing with 165 carries this last year for 880 yards, and he had 13 touchdowns on the team. Plumlee's played in 52 career games, starting in 33. He completed 464 out of 760 passes for 5,838 yards and 34 TDs. In 23, he completed 161 of 256 passes for 2,271 yards and 15 TDs. They're not crazy productive, but still, it's not like he didn't do anything. Michigan State linebacker Jacob Windman played 41 career games, playing 2 seasons at Michigan State after transferring from the University of Las Vegas. He played in 11 games, recording 64 tackles, almost an average of 6 tackles a game, 23 of them solo stops. He had 12.5 tackles for a loss and 6.5 sacks. He also had 6 forced fumbles, 3 pass defenses, and an interception. That's pretty decent. Pretty decent production out of him. The Charlotte defensive end or linebacker, the Charlotte, he had his season cut short due to injury, probably why he fell as a UDFA. He began his career at Michigan. He played 35 games at Michigan. In 2014, he played all 14 games as well. He's actually got a German background, which is really interesting. Therefore, that's sort of why explains the last name there as well, which is a hard one to read off the screen the first time in Wolfschoff. But let's look at Beanie Bishop particularly. Beanie Bishop is an interesting player, played at Western Kentucky, played at Minnesota, and played at West Virginia. He's a 6-year starter. If you look at what he did just at Western Kentucky and Minnesota, he had, 9.5 tackles for a loss, 103 tackles overall, 3 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. If you look at what he did at West Virginia this last year, where he was super productive, he had 0.5 tackles for a loss, 4 interceptions this year. So he really increased that interception rate. He had 20 pass defenses. He only allowed 86 yards. 86 yards. So that was pretty crazy. 21.5 yards per average there from him. So that's pretty nuts. Actually, wait, no, that's from his interceptions. Oh, sorry, my bad. That's from his interceptions. But if you look at him overall, if you go into PFF, a lot of people don't like their grades. However, he only allowed a 61.5% completion rate overall in his career. Overall, that is all he's allowed. He's only ever allowed 112 receptions on 182 targets. In this past year, his final year at WVU, he had 88 targets thrown his way. He only allowed a completion rate of 54.5%, which translated to 646 yards. That's an average of 13.5. But 88 targets was the second most of any draft-eligible cornerback in 2024 in the college game. So incredibly stout bloke that faced a lot of targets, agile guy. The Steelers will be very happy they didn't have to spend a draft pick on him and still brought him in the door. He was a visit to them. He was considered a late-round guy. People thought they might go there with the 6th-round pick in Ryan Watts. They've still gone and got Beanie Bishop anyway. I think Ryan Watts projects as a safety anyway. But Pittsburgh Steelers fans, these are the first 5 UDFAs the Steelers have signed. The Steelers are going to sign probably more UDFAs. I think we'll see that happen. And they may even sign more of the veteran free agents in the second round of free agency following the restructure of Alex Highsmith. But you let me know in the comments, are you happy with any of these guys? Are you familiar with any of these guys? Beanie Bishop, we still brought him in. I know a lot of the Steelers fan base was out there really high on this guy. And thank you to everyone that's tuning in all our videos and live streams over the course of the draft. If you haven't, there's a plethora of content. Go check it out. We will break down all the day 3 grades on the channel over the course of the next few days. We're all just letting it mellow, but I did want to come to the breaking news that in the past 20 minutes as I record this, the Steelers have signed these 5 UDFAs, further building their roster through this NFL draft and off-season process. I'm Matty P, as always. Go Steelers.